Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today we'll be exploring some of the world's most iconic launch sites in the Microsoft Flight Simulator. So fasten your seatbelt and let's take the flight. Our first stop takes us to the Kazakhstan, where we find the legendary Baikonur Cosmodrome. Baikonur has been the launch site for every Russian human spaceflight since Yuri Gagarin. Unfortunately, if you wouldn't know where to look, I highly doubt you would find it with ease. Everything is visible only in 2D and launch pad looks only like a smaller hills. You can see two launch towers of pads 110 right under me, but that's about it. At least this one, the pad 1, where Yuri Gagarin actually launched from, has a visible flame divider and is a tiny bit more recognizable. Konnichiwa. Our flight continues to Japan's Tanishima Space Center. This facility plays a vital role in Japan's space exploration efforts. Fun fact, Tanishima was the site where firearms were introduced to Japan in the 16th century, and now it's launching rockets into space. So if you ever come here, make sure to visit the local firearms museum. However, the situation here is very similar to one in Baikonur. Not easy to tell it's a spaceport, but it's definitely on a beautiful spot. Some even call it the most beautiful spaceport in the world. Namaste. We've landed in India, home to the Satish Dhawan Space Center. This spaceport has been the launch site for numerous Indian space research organization missions, including Chandrayaan and Mangalyaan. India's space program continues to impress the world, especially with the latest landing of Chandrayaan-3 on the moon. And here the launch pads are clearly much more recognizable. Although shown as buildings, you can clearly spot the lightning towers as well as the launch towers in the middle of these two pads. With Niha, we touched down at China's Guana Satellite Launch Center. This site has been instrumental in China's space achievements, including the launch site of its first astronaut, Zhang Liwei. It's a testament to China's growing role in space exploration. China has 4 more major launch sites, but to not make this video too long, I've included only the one with the most recent launch date at the time of recording. Regarding recognizability here in MSFS, it's not great really. I think the entire complex can be recognized, but only again if you know where exactly to look. The launch pad itself is one hill, similar to the ones in Baikonur. And we are off to New Zealand now, where Rocket Lab's Launch Complex 1 is nested on the Mahia Peninsula. Rocket Lab is known for its Electron rocket, which provides affordable access to space for small satellites and scientific payloads. They recently also opened a ton of new positions, so if you're in the market either in New Zealand or USA, have a look. Again, the launch site is not easily recognizable, but you have to agree that it's again one with very beautiful location. And now we venture across the Pacific, French Guiana, where the Guana Space Center is located. This site is crucial for European space endeavors and offers a unique location near the equator, providing a boost to launching spacecraft into orbit. Unfortunately, it has been quite silent recently due to delay for Ariane 6 and anomaly investigation for Vega C launch. Thanks to some mods, you can see the main space center with Ariane 5 replica. In Guiana, there are launch pads for Ariane 5, 6, Vega rockets, and Soyuz. Unfortunately, once again, none of them is modeled and hence look only like hills. And finally, for all the viewers from United States, we head over to the Kennedy Space Center on Merritt Island, Florida. First, we fly over the Space Shuttle landing runway. In the vicinity, you'll find the iconic Vehicle Assembly Building, or VAB, which is one of the largest buildings by volume in the world. Next to the two big doors, there is a historic launch center building, and finally you can also spot the mobile launcher that brings the SLS rocket to the pad from VAB. Following the way from VAB to launch pads, we can have a look on the launch pads 39A and 39B. 39B is for SLS, 39A is for SpaceX Falcon 9, Falcon Heavy, and in the future also Super Heavy with Starship. In the game, you can also find a beautiful Falcon Heavy ready to be launched. By the way, recently I've seen news about anniversary of Microsoft Space Simulator, which I wasn't even aware of before. How cool would it be if Microsoft brought that one back as well? Anyway, we continue over SpaceX landing sites with 2 landed Falcons. And if that would not be enough, there's also one Redstone rocket in the area. And finally, we will have a short look at the Blue Origin's facility and visitor center at KSC. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to make this specific mode work, otherwise you could also see a full-scale model of a space shuttle fuel tank. Now let's jet over to Vandenberg Air Force Base in California. Vandenberg's location on the California coast allows for launches over the Pacific Ocean, providing a safe path for rocket stages to fall back into the ocean after launch. Interestingly, Vandenberg is known for its strict environmental regulations. The base shares its land with endangered California sea otter, and launches are sometimes delayed to ensure the safety of these marine mammals. Wops Island in Virginia is our next destination. This coastal launch site is operated by NASA and is known for its sounding rocket missions. These rockets provide valuable data for scientific research and space exploration. Besides that, orbital launchers obviously are also launched from here, but it's quite difficult to spot the pads. And now let's check the top spot for space fans these days. Welcome to SpaceX Starbase in Boca Chica, Texas. Elon Musk's vision for Mars colonization is taking shape right here. The Starbase is the hub for testing and launching SpaceX Ambition Starship spacecraft, which aims to make interplanetary travel a reality. Although this mod offers amazing details, as you can tell, it's been a while since it was updated. The launch tower is only in its infancy, and there is no view of Super Heavy yet. But it's great to see the hopper included. But let's hope the mod will get updated soon. Not a spaceport, but on the way from Houston Airport to NASA's Johnson Space Center, I was very surprised when I noticed the Blue Angels F-18s. So if you want to see them as well in the sim, now you know where to find them. And here's the Johnson Space Center, where astronauts are trained and mission control is located. All the buildings under the plane right now are part of it. Other than that, you can also check out the rocket park that contains a real-size Saturn V, one of 3 in the world, and apparently this one is the only one comprised of all flight-certified hardware. Next to the building you can also see a little Joe 2 rocket that was used to test the Apollo's launch escape system. And the last stop takes us to further into Texas to visit Blue Origin's new Shepard launch site. This suborbital rocket is designed for space tourism and scientific missions. What is amazing on this mod is that you can see the rocket both on the launch pad and the landing site, and even the capsule descending on parachutes. So pretty much all stages of the flight are shown here, and I think that's great. Well folks, that concludes our journey exploring these remarkable launch sites around the world in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. I hope you've enjoyed this aerial tour of some of humanity's gateways to the stars. Also let me know if I forgot some important sites, and if you find this format interesting. If you have any suggestions for future flights or want to share your favorite launch site, drop a comment below, and until next time, happy flying and keep your eyes on the skies.